In a country where 65% of our boys are being brought up either by their mothers or women-led homes, we need to take a different approach on how we're going to raise these boys. And this is a clarion call for all of us men to become fathers. And you don't have to become a father only to the child that is come out of your loins. It is our responsibility, and especially as black men, that it takes a village to raise a child. What we have now, we have so many boys that are stuck in men's bodies. And so many of the things that are going around us are a byproduct of that. Now, I want to share with you some of the things that I think we should be done. And these are the psychological changes we have to go through as men so that we can bring up the kind of men that this community or this country needs in terms of the black boys. For boys to shed off the naiveties of youthfulness, we have to take them through a blueprint. In most cases, traditionally, we call that the rite of passage. But people live in cities now, but it does not make a rite of passage too old or too traditional. We can still recreate and have rite of passage in the modern life that we live in. So I'm intentionally inviting you and I'm challenging you to make sure that we create safe spaces for these boys to fail. We need to constantly and every day remind our boys of a few rules that we're going to live with, that they have to abide by for them to become the kind of men that we need in this country. For this country to get better, men have to get better. Now, rule number one, most of our boys, we have to teach them how to fight entitlement. You're not entitled to anything as a boy. You're not entitled to anything as a man. Which means that when possible, it's always better to choose the hard way than handouts. We are bringing up a society of young men that are loving and choosing entitlement, that are choosing handouts rather than hard work. This is something that we have to instill in them. Rule number two, to get, you have to give. Always extend your giving hand first. We can't be in a country where the first thing when you say to someone, hello, how are you? They tell you how hungry they are, how tired they are, and do you have a drink for me? That we have to teach our boys. A man does not do that. A man gives first. A man does not keep on taking. A man gives. With anything, you're going to have to give first. If I want to be nice, you to be nice to me, I have to be nice to you first. If I want you to help me, I have to help you first. I want you to be friendly to me, you have to be friendly to me first. If I want you to greet me, I have to greet you first. With everything, you have to give your all. Give without remembering and receive without forgetting. That's rule number two. Rule number three, we have to bring the few energy. In every moment of every day, you have to exude grit, gratitude, and go. Most of us, unfortunately, we feel like most of our young men and most of our young men and boys feel like we owe them something. Nobody owes you anything. Nobody owes you anything. Even God doesn't owe you anything. He's already given us everything that we need. We just need to use it. Rule number four, you have to welcome pain. Where there is pain, there is growth. And where there is pleasure, there is death. God uses pain to grow us, and the devil uses pleasure to derail us. You cannot take pleasure as a value and live. Pleasure leads to pain. If we enjoy drinking, it will kill your body. If you enjoy sleeping around, it will break your home. If you enjoy eating too much, it will take away your health. If you enjoy not working out, all those things, where there is pain, there is growth. We have to understand that where there is comfort, there is always a path to a slow death. You have pain from your past and pain in your present, and that is where your growth is. Do not simply bury the pain, plant it. Your pain has a purpose. Find your purpose in your pain. Rule number 5, if you risk nothing, you risk everything. Remember, a ship in a harbor is safe, but that is not what ships are built for. So if you want to grow in this world, you have to understand risk versus reward. Where there is no risk, there is no reward. And most of our young black men, unfortunately, we've been brought up, and they've been brought up, that if nobody is giving them a job, then they had rather stay at home. You have to take a risk on yourself, because if you don't, nothing will happen. Rule number 6, luck favors hard workers. You make your own luck. The harder you work, the more chances of you being lucky. You can't expect getting lucky, waking up and watching TV the whole day, waking up, being on social media the whole day, waking up and just staying at home. It doesn't work. Rule number 7, die growing. The goal is growth to the grave. Disciples are learners. Jesus had disciples, and there's a reason why he named them disciples. You cannot be a disciple. The root word in disciple is discipline. For you to learn, you have to discipline yourself. You have to discipline your time. You have to discipline your energy. You have to discipline your needs. Rule number 8, you have to learn to plan. God has a plan for you, but he's not going to plan for you. If you have no plan, expect no progress. The plan doesn't have to be perfect, but you have to master that we live in a world of duality, that you have to learn to have a plan, but yet be flexible. Do the hard thing, first thing. You constantly have to keep on swallowing your frog first thing in the morning. Plan to fail or fail to plan, whichever way you look at it. Fail to plan to fail, or plan to fail to plan. Rule number 10, you're going to have to choose effort over your excuses and emotions. Always, no matter your feelings, choose to do what you feel. Feelings are lies. Boys give in to feelings. Men give in to facts. I don't feel like training. It doesn't mean I shouldn't train. I don't feel like eating right. It doesn't mean that I shouldn't eat right. I don't feel like going to bed now and it's 11 p.m. It doesn't mean I shouldn't go to bed. Feelings are lies. Boys give in to feelings. Men stick to facts. You have to override your feelings. And these are things that we constantly have to understand. Most of us have given in to these things that are making it much easier for us to fail. And if we start teaching these simple rules to our boys, we're going to create the kind of men that this country needs. We can't be punishing the man if we're not training the boy. That treadmill has to be started early on. Which of these ones do you resonate with?